Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about sunstone. Ooh, this is a good sunstone. This is a flashy one. It's a good sunstone, but it's still, I'm very picky when it comes to quality of crystals, and with sunstone, ooh, there's a large quality, so many different sunstone qualities out there. This is pretty good. This is a very flashy one. Online will depict sunstone as something else. They catfish sunstone online, but you've come to the Florida Stone Man channel, where I teach you about sunstone that it isn't catfished. This is the sunstone I have on my website. It can be really, really tough to get good sunstone. I went over a year without getting sunstone. I'm going to talk about really good sunstone comes from Oregon. I don't know why, but back then when it was mine, they had better sunstone back then than they do now. I don't know if people know that, but now the secret's out because I just revealed it. So if you ever pay attention, like, you might get a piece of sunstone and it's like, hey, this is not flashy, it's not really that good. Like, what happened with the pictures of bloodstone online versus the bloodstone I have? It's because there's just like random, there's different qualities of sunstone, but when they mine it, most of it does not look this flashy. It's just a lot of batches don't have that flash. They're just regular. Either of them work. This stone specifically works for embodying the sun ray. The other non-flashy sunstone, and the one I have is super flashy on my website as well. It's between steel spacers. Oh, look how flashy that is. Ooh, now you guys get to see on camera how flashy it is. I'll introduce this for the Golden Series as well. But let me talk a little bit about bloodstone. Sunstone. So sunstone, can you guess what it does? It literally embodies the sun. In ancient Egypt, it was known as the crystal that embodied the sun gods, but their version of gods back then were mainly major spirits, or major spirits that basically act like angels. Some might have even believed that certain sun deities were their versions of angels, but I'm not going to go back to different traditions because everyone has something different to say about it online. Or people are like, no, they actually meant gods. Like, people are like, no, they actually meant nature spirits. No, they meant angel spirits. Okay. Doesn't really matter. I'm just teaching about this. So back then, it was the stone of the sun gods, or whatever you want to call them. But the beings that they worked with, that were, I believe, to be nature spirits or angelic related, because they were pretty good in helping the people at the time. But the sunstone is a stone of fame and fortune and luck and prosperity and abundance and new beginnings. Its power comes from the sun. It'll take the worst, most depressed, just bummed out, just like, it'll take the nastiest of people and at least give them like a ray of hope, and they'll be like, oh, I feel better. Yeah, because the sunstone literally shine light into your soul. Sunstone is good for every chakra. It's good for the root chakra, the solar plexus chakra. Ooh, I skipped the chakra. Ooh. The root chakra, the sacral chakra especially, because it's orange, but it aligns every single chakra of the lower chakras. Yes, it can align every single chakras, like blue kyanite, but it's especially good for the lower chakras. It aligns all the lower chakras, unless you have a sunstone necklace and like maybe like waist beads of sunstone and anklets of sunstone, but the more of a crystal you have, the better, because it's doing more work. And a little tiny crystal, like a bead of a crystal, will not do as much as a giant crystal. That's just how it is. Energy is defined to its size. That's seen in physics. If you don't believe me, then you can look at a physics textbook. But sunstone is one of the best crystals ever. It's just, even when the sunstone's near me, I have sunstone on me right now, but it's just looking into it. It just makes you very happy and just be like, ooh, ooh. Just like a double ooh. It makes you feel so good. It's just so sunny, and it helps you. Like I said, it pulls the worst of people who can't be happy no matter what, and it makes them happy. It just makes them vibrant and trusting again, and it makes the person just feel full of sunlight, and just even at nighttime. So it is the stone of the masculine. So Moonstone is the crystal of the full moon. This is the counterpart to Moonstone, if you haven't really noticed it. Sunstone, Moonstone. I hope you guys put two and two together. It's stronger when worn than the sun. When the sunlight hits sunstone, and I do have sunstone in the top of my crowns as well, because I keep crystals everywhere. My head is like a bush of crystals. The longer my hair gets, the more crystals I'm adding. So yeah, you'll see like a trail of crystals. Eventually, in like a year, it'll be like down here, just crystal hair. And lots of sunstone will be in there, because when you feel sunstone, or even when you see sunstone, it's just the flash of the sun's light, look how beautiful that is. Look how absolutely beautiful that is. The camera doesn't do it justice, but ooh, it's just so happy. And like, if you were feeling like, and keep in mind, this stone can go from being dark to like, hey, I'm happy again. Just full of light. That's what it'll do for people who are just not in a good place. It'll just like, from when they're feeling dark and when they get the sunstone, they just feel full of light. Now, I have definitely encountered, and I've been noticing a pattern of people who get sunstone or moonstone from me. People who get moonstone feel more of the need or urgency or just the fulfillment to work with the feminine. And that sometimes has nothing to do with this life. You might have been a female in the past 3 lives and now you're a male in this life. Or you might have been a male in the past 3 lives and a female in this life. And you just don't really understand the energetic patterns, and you don't really understand if you're more masculine in energy, if you don't understand if you're more feminine in energy. There's actually a spiritual law relating to masculine and feminine. It's good to have a perfect balance of both, a perfect balance of yin and yang. Even in the Chinese energy systems and the healing of the body, they talk about physical, because they talk about I can't, okay, I'm going to make right now a disclaimer. This is not a physical video This is not a physical video. This is talking about spiritual knowledge. If you want to find physical knowledge, you can go online or look at a biology textbook or a medical textbook. This is not a doctorate video or any kind of medical doctor video. This is just teaching about crystals and how they help you improve your spirituality. And Sunstone actually aligns all of your meridians on your yin and your yang, especially if you're not in touch with your masculine. So if you feel like there's way too much feminine going on, and you need a balance. Like your aura will crave the balance. So if you're such a feminine person and you're like, why, if I'm a feminine person, why did I like the sunstone? And it didn't really make sense as to why the sunstone called out to me when I'm a really feminine person. It's because you crave the balance that we all need. Everything in life is purely balanced. People who will get moonstone, sometimes without even knowing it, and they will not know it, they will not show it, they will have more of a masculine energy, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you were in the past several lives you were a different gender and now you're in this life, maybe you carried a different energy, and maybe your main guides are just very specific in their energies and you don't really understand why. Just there could be 100,000 different reasons, but sunstone is the masculine and helps you balance the masculine. It is very good for females to have funstone. It is very good for females to have sunstone if the females are lacking sacral chakra energy. So if they feel very, I've seen people get moonstone and sunstone first. Just because you get one or the other first doesn't mean that you're more masculine or feminine. Like I said, it could depend on 100,000 different things. But sunstone, it really fixes the lower chakras. The moonstone helps the upper chakras. I'm going to go back to the famed topic about sunstone. So if you're someone who's like a YouTuber, this YouTuber right here, or someone who does TikToks, this is one of your best friends because it'll help your videos be that much more likely to be perceived. So only one other stone besides citrine does that. Yellow sapphire, which a lot of people don't even know about yellow sapphire, let alone have it. So this is this has to be the second best crystal for fame and fortune and just pure luck and new beginnings. And it's just full of energy. It's full of happiness. It's full of joy. It clears mental fog. It clears unease. It clears just, if you just can't get yourself right, or you feel lethargic, you feel like you don't want to be around anyone, you feel like you're not yourself, you feel like you're in a mental fog and things are just not going right for you, things are not going your way, and like you don't really know why, but maybe you've identified that you just feel like there's something off. And one sign that you need sunstone, I'm telling you this right now, if you hate the color orange, and it's a strong word, if you despise the color orange, like, ugh, I don't want to see that color, like, get that color off my canvas, that means you have to work with it even more. And when you work with it even more is actually when all of your blessings start opening, because how can you catch a blessing if your hands are just too open versus if you close them? Same thing with your chakras. So if a blessing comes to you and you're energetically blocked, then the blessing won't even come, and you're like, why aren't my blessings coming? I'm like, well, yeah, your blessings are coming, but your chakras are just blocked, and sunstone helps align all the lower chakras. Now let's talk about sunstone on the upper chakras. So why do I wear my sunstone in my crown? You can see my sunstone up here somewhere in there. There's a lot of crystals back there, up here, around there. everywhere. I just have so many crystals. You guys are only seeing half the crystals in my hair. When you guys see and notice how strong the crystal's energy is and how life-changing these crystals are, you try to put all the crystals on you yourself. So crystals very heavily work together. So when one crystal works with the other crystal, they make each other stronger, and their outcome is stronger, and you start getting freakishly lucky. So if you see me stacking crystals as much as I can, it's because I love their energy. I see exactly what they do. It's very noticeable with what crystals do. With roots and herbs, they don't even compare to roots and herbs. I'll tell you that right now. These crystals, they don't exhaust you can cleanse and charge them. You can't really, you can cleanse and charge roots and herbs, but these crystals are powerhouses of energy. They're like energetic tanks. So they just go, 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 go. It's hard to use a crystal wrong. You can use roots and herbs very wrong. You can't use a crystal against someone. You can't use it in a negative way. That's not how it works. Actually, fully backfires on people who try to use it for negative, anything negative. Roots and herbs you can use for negative things, but that comes back to them anyway. But Sunstone is so powerful, and it's just, I'm feeling the Sunstone with it near me. And like I said, it's stronger in the sun. What happens when you wear Sunstone under the moon? What a weird question. What a weird question. Sunstone under the moon? What are you talking about? So Sunstone under the moon is, when you wear Sunstone under the moon, it's literally you just balancing energies. If you want to do a lunar eclipse energy, like I said, I've made a previous video on this, is working with the sun and moon. You can work with the sun by using Sunstone. If you want to make sun water, you can take a jug of purified water, leave it in a glass container, drop a bead of Sunstone in it, or just a chunk of Sunstone in it, and you put it out in the sun, and now you have Sunstone sun water. Ooh! You literally have the energy of the sun trapped inside the water to your disposal. You can use it in cleansing baths. You can do whatever you want with it. You can get creative. Now, same thing with Moonstone. You can do the same thing with Moonstone. You can take Moonstone and put it in moon water, etc. It's pretty easy. It's very intention-based. Put your intention in your Sunstone and use it. Like I said, it lines all the lower chakras. It literally pushes all the chakras into a focused light. And when you use them on the higher chakras, as I was talking about earlier, they actually open the connection to your higher self. Now, people don't really know this. I don't know if the information for this is online, but even with a crystal such as citrine, because, okay, there's a few crystals that are in the category of solar stones, like literally the embodiments of the sun. That in ancient Egypt, that they would give to their sun deities is, and you can use these all together. I have literally a crystal halo or crown or whatever you have, helmet or whatever, because there's a lot of crystals in my head just embedded in there that you can't even see. But now, citrine, tiger eye, sunstone, carnelian. You can use all those crystals to work with the sun directly. I would leave out carnelian if you don't want to get confused, because it does relate to the sun, but just in different aspects. But mainly citrine, tiger eye, and sunstone. Literally the sun crystals. When you use them all together, you're gonna notice you're a lot more balanced, you're a lot more energetic, you're gonna feel a lot better. It's just gonna feel wonderful. That's what Sunstone's about. Oh, I have to get to its prosperity aspects as well. It's very good for prosperity. If you really want to flash, like if you feel like you've been in the dark and it's time for you to shine, like it's really time for you to shine. Like maybe you were in the dark for a while, you weren't really too well known, and then boom, you're glowing. You're showing and you're glowing. That can help you in prosperity as well. If you have not seen, we all have different astrological charts. So 1 week, we can have 3 amazing weeks and then 1 really bad week, and we feel like the world's ending, when the week after that is about to go 100 times better than those 3 weeks. But how we behave in that 1 week actually determines if we get to receive the blessings coming in the next week or not. That's a test that'll happen. Maybe that's happened to some of you guys recently. Same thing with Sunstone. It'll help you really flash and stay bright in times that you are feeling a little bit dark. It'll help you just not be dark at all. It's a stone of illuminating your soul. When you use it on the upper chakras, it does connect you to your higher self. It does illuminate your higher, because when you use solar plexus crystals on your crown chakra and on your third eye chakra, after all your other chakras are balanced, you start making contact with the golden ray, which is a ray in heaven that is sent down to earth to literally shower golden light upon us and just fill us with alignment and joy and just goodness. And it's wonderful. You can use tiger eye, citrine, and sunstone on the higher chakras. Literally open psychic abilities, just make you feel happy, make you feel good. You can manifest anything when you're happy. It doesn't, like, just when you stay happy and you stay aligned, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. Remember, the 3D world is just illusions. If you don't believe that, then look at the Mandela effect. Look at just different things going on. Just like this world is just full of illusions. Even TV and television is just illusions. If you think anything in the 3D world, I mean, yes, in practicality, yes, we do make change, but the change comes from within. Once we change ourselves and we uplift ourselves, no matter what circumstance, if you have an awful week, it doesn't matter. Just stick through it. Use a sunstone. It'll make you feel wonderful. And just because you stuck through the week that you thought was hard, everything else becomes amazing the week after. Because sunstone, even when you feel a little bit dark, or like you don't feel like you're flashing, you feel kind of dull and you don't feel yourself, and then boom, out of nowhere you just start glowing. And you're not just glowing, you're beautiful. You have greens and yellows, and this actually defines some of our auras, because we have a lot of vibrant colors in our auras. When we feel happy, when we're on a scientific level, when you're feeling happy, you're releasing dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, just different chemicals that are literally raising your vibration. You will change people. You're going to change the way that people act around you. Maybe even in love situations. Like if you feel like you have not been being, sounds good for love. If you feel like you've not been being loved, if you feel like you haven't been getting love, or you feel like the relationship's one way, or you're putting out energy and you're not really getting love back, sunstone, you just focus on yourself. The sunstone helps you align yourself. And once you're focusing on yourself and you forget about aspects of needing or requiring love, the sunstone literally takes you to another vibration, to where that person would be coming back to you begging to be with you, just because your vibration is so high and that you're happy. And circumstances will happen to that person. Not just like, a circumstance will happen. No, things will be like, okay, this person is starting to see your light shine. Maybe if that person, because everything happens to us in life, maybe since your frequency was consistent, especially working with a crystal such as sunstone, because that's the main aspect about sunstone, being sunny and happy. And it helps you withstand darkness, so you can continue being sunny and happy. So maybe you were feeling down, you were feeling low, and in that circumstance, other person might have come back to you, but you were down and low, and they kind of just went off anyway. Versus their circumstances, maybe they were feeling down and low, or like they were a little bit lower than usual, and you're still sunny and happy no matter how crazy or how not in your favor you think your week is going. Now they come back to you and they're begging to be with you. That's just a circumstantial thing that a vibration such as sunstone can actually bring people to you, especially in relationships, in a marriage. It doesn't matter. When you're high vibing, people are gonna want to high vibe with you. They'll trade anything just to high vibe with you. Sunstone is very good for prosperity, love, and relationships, because you have to stay sunny. You have to stay sunny even when you feel like your relationships are not going your way, because they're going to turn out in your favor if you're only staying happy and having your vibration uplifted and raised. Now, this is just an easy stone to remember. It's the stone of happiness. It's the stone of alignment and just getting rid of inner confinements. Sunstone's amazing. It just makes you feel happy. If I had more orange necklaces, this might have been labradorite. Maybe in an alternate timeline, maybe in the future, who knows? But that would be a cool, maybe I might just, we'll see. I mean, sunstone's wonderful. I already have it in my crown. I have every crystal everywhere, but sunstone is actually the king of gemstones when it comes to the sun element. It is the masculine. It really helps you feel good, and it really aligns you. And when you're happy, like I said, this is a stone of manifestation as well. It's a stone of just luck and fame and fortune, because it doesn't matter how dark things get, you know you're going to shine. And when you do, you're going to shine so bright, it doesn't matter when you don't shine. If you have just think of sunstone as being that one stone. If you have 100 losses and one of the biggest wins in the entire world, what does the 100 losses mean? Like, you don't even remember those. Like, it doesn't matter, as long because sunstone helps you stay in there. It helps you stick in there and just be happy no matter what. And then things will turn out your way. That's how it goes. The mind is a powerful tool. Sunstone helps the mind stay sunny. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!